Hello, everybody. My name's Joel, and
I'm Rich.
hi. What we want to do is make a sort of a simulated mini-series, an accelerated pedagogy, and how we used some AI feedback in our unit. And you'll hear me talk about our unit quite a lot. Yeah, I'm the unit director of this thing called Engineering Communication, Measurement and Data Analysis. In short, it's sort of the lab unit for the engineers that are studying on the sort of shared first year. Um, and it has some unique challenges to it. So it's got 830-ish students on it. Obviously, that sort of trundles about a little bit as people transfer and things. But what we really wanted to do is find innovative ways to provide some formative feedback on their lab report writing, because obviously lab report writing is quite challenging because obviously there's 830, that's a lot of words and a lot of time. And actually we're trying to get students to really sort of a basic level, not really high level writing. It's a first year unit. And how could we upskill them? And this left me with a question. I suppose I was like, "Oh, is there a way we can leverage AI on the unit?" And then I thought, I don't really know how to do that, and that's why I spoke to my fantastic colleague, Rich, who's effectively a data scientist in engineering and has all of those skills. Um, so what we're going to do in this little video is we're just going to talk a tiny bit about what we want to achieve and a few of the bits and pieces, and we'll explain where this is going to go for the rest of the week. Rich.
Yeah, it sounds great. So maybe just to introduce myself as well. As Joel said, I'm normally a data scientist in engineering. I did my NGD in deep learning methods, so analyzing images with AI techniques. And I've since come through and worked more on those techniques, but got more and more interested in teaching. And then through chatting to Joel about this unit, came to be the technical side and technical implementation of this project and seeing how we could use AI to produce formative feedback. And this mini series is really well timed because while we have implemented this in the last academic year, we're now running the same tools again to provide more feedback for our research students at the moment. So this accelerated mini series is nicely timed to reflect on what we've done and talk about what we're doing again now. Do you want to go through the bits of the mini
Yes,
series we're going to cover, Joel?
absolutely. Let's say this is, I suppose, the intro one where we're just having a quick chat about, oh, we could use it for 830 students somehow. What does that look like? And then we'll sort of move on day by day. We went through this process in a slightly longer format the first time round, but this will hopefully give you an idea of all the tools and stage gates that you sort of want to think about and move through. So the next one is, are we even allowed to? Are we breaking some sort of law or data or university law or some sort of data protection law? Who knows? So we'll have a little bit of an intro into that. And then once we've done that, how do we go think about the ethics and ensure data protection? And are we allowed to use the student reports and put it into a tool? And how do we ensure that that thing is safe and protected? And then we're going to move on to actually doing some basics of sort of pedagogical research in terms of, well, we should evaluate this and speak to the students and see what they thought of it. And then towards the end of the week, so I've got it sort of going live, T minus however many minutes, for Friday is actually making sure that we've got all the systems in place so that we can reliably collect the student data and turn it around and hand it back within the next week. So what we'll have is a little bit of intro there towards the end of the week on the logistics and collecting the data, processing it, and then outputting it back to the students on Tuesday the following week. Hopefully, that's the grand plan. Anything else you wanted to add to that, Rich?
No, I think that's a great start. Hopefully the rest of the mini series will be great.